garden guy. Hey guys, take a look at this. This is a south-facing wall. It's called thermal mass gardening, and this is one way to garden out here in the Desert Southwest. What you're doing is you're growing a lot of things in pots, which makes it a lot easier than to actually grow it in the soil itself. So you can control your soil. In fact, I'm with Chad Kumo, and Chad, you've got a lot going on here. Describe some of the different types of plants that we got here.
Well, this was purely experimental. I didn't know what was going to grow here, so I didn't want to invest a lot of money into a big garden. But apparently, it's successful here. But you got your tomatoes and your radishes and zucchinis, a lot of kale, a lot of arugula, mustard greens over there, and it just keeps going down with the eggplants and the peas on the end. And I'm trying onions here, so.
Yep. So you can see now you're actually building a house during this period of time. So you're kind of experimenting where to grow this stuff, and then of course we need to take a look at these raised beds. And we talked about earlier in the tease, a lot of this also came from Amazon. But you can see these raised beds; they're all steel, which work out real well. But just tell us a little bit about these.
Well, it was either this or wood, and I know wood doesn't last as long, and I figured these would hold up pretty well. So, and the biggest thing was they go with the architecture of the backyard.
They sure do. They look fantastic. And then, of course, you got a lot of citrus over here. He's going to put a little Harbor Freight greenhouse right there. That's the beginnings of it. That's a separate segment. But, of course, we want to get to this beautiful backyard. He did this himself. And this mostly came from Wayfarer and Amazon, too. Tell us a little bit about the backyard and how this inspired you. You designed this and built it. Tell us also how long it took to actually do it.
So the inspiration was just traveling and taking pieces of resorts, Mexico, Europe, and even here in Phoenix. You take pictures of things you like, and then you put them all together, and this is what you get. So,
and we want to talk about some of the flora and fauna around here. And take a look at these are what we call Swan Hill olives. Very clean. A lot of ficus trees back here. There's a lot of other types of plant material, including some elephant food right over there. These are all very clean. And of course, we talk a lot about Sansevieria or there's mother-in-law's tongue. You can see it right over there. There's some right over there. He's trying some of that on a northern exposure. But again, all of it very clean type plant material, not very few leaves. And then last but not least, that synthetic turf. And you can see that. That's called, what did you say, an 80-pound turf?
Yeah, it's just an upgrade. It's when you walk on it, you can feel it. It's just a little more bouncier. It's going to last a little bit longer than your usual 65 pounds. So.
And what's amazing, you did it all yourself.
Yeah.
And so how long did it take you so you can create the expectation for folks out there?
13 months from design and permits and groundbreaking to finish. And it's still not 100% finished.
Yeah,
it's almost there.
I got to talk a little bit about this lattice work you've got up above us. This is absolutely gorgeous. Tell us a little bit about that. And also built out of steel, not wood.
It's all steel, 100%. It's welded on site. I designed the panels. I wanted to do a little softer design. The pool is very contemporary, so this kind of softens everything up. But this allows the sun to come through and make some pretty cool shapes on the ground. But this was built by my good friend Tom at Universal Fence and Gates, and he does a great job. So
I want to show the nighttime shot of this, too. If you guys can roll that. This is a little B-roll of the nighttime, and he actually put this all together, and you can see the lighting effects. In fact, if you go down to the pool area down here, you can see some of the light during the day here, but at night, this is just striking. This, I'll tell you, Chad, one of the most beautiful landscapes I've ever had. I've got 1 minute left. Of course, you got to introduce your lovely wife here.
This is my lovely wife, Kyla.
And she's putting together a little kale shake here for us. Kyla, tell us a little bit about this shake you're putting together.
So, Dave, it's got honeycrust apple, ginger, some lemon, cucumber, and homegrown kale, of course. So you got to devein it. Some coconut water and orange peach mango juice. So I'm going to spin this up for you.
Beautiful. And I'm sure it's all healthy, right? Let's give it a try here and see what you got. Now, this kale came from his garden. He deveined this kale, so he didn't leave the veins in there. Kale does very well out here in the Desert Southwest, and it's very easy to grow in those raised bed type things. Let me give this a try here. Now, that's looking awful good.
I think he thinks that's good. I'm going to have some, too.
Okay, girl.
Back to you, ladies.
There you go, guys.
Mango juice. That sounds delicious.
You can actually do some.
Sipping that kale juice and looking at that view, Dave. I mean, they're living a life out there. It looks like the W or something with that nighttime video.
Yeah, I want to hang out on those little. What is it? A hammock, Dave, or what is it? Those little seats right over there.
Hey, Chad, what are these little seats right here? They want to know about those. What are those called?
Again, they were from the internet, from Amazon, and they're just hammock chairs. They're swinging hammock chairs. It just kind of makes a fun little sitting area, and that way you can sit on both sides of the fire and swing around.
It's amazing what you can do off of just going on the internet and going on Amazon and shopping at night. How's
I've
that?
been enjoying Amazon. They've got some good deals. We're going to need a couple of those for the newsroom.
You do love a hammock. Thanks, Dave. Thank you. Gorgeous backyard. And we're less than a week away from the big battle in Godzilla.